Peace, G's. This is G tapping in with y'all today. And on this episode, or this listening, I want to speak about time. I want to introduce a concept or idea to some folks, or a thought, or something to think about. But time is going to be the topic of this episode, so definitely make sure that you are subscribed to, the InnerG platforms on YouTube, on Instagram, and Twitter. Some updates about the InnerG radio. I got word that the platform that I have originally, started the InnerG radio on, Blog Talk. Unfortunately, after many years of being in service, they are, crazy coincidentally going out of service in 2025. Now, for me, I took that as, definitely opposition, definitely some type of attacking energy. Because just when I started in 2024, or the end of 2024, sharing some of the things that I have shared on this platform and the space that I'm going into, I feel like, it was definitely some negative energy there just to randomly get an email and say, hey, Blog Talk Radio will be canceling all services in 2025. Essentially, stopping or putting a delay on where I could put my recordings at. However, talks with some people, kept me in high spirits, high energy, and they told me to look at this not as a sign of defeat, but take it as a sign of keep going, build my resilience, build my grit, and, not let anything stop the message from getting out. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to let it, change anything. I'm not going to let it, delay anything. So, that little delay that I did have in between episodes, and I've been trying to just figure things out, because I did get that email after the second video that I did post, or the second upload. So as of now, you guys can keep listening to those episodes on the InnerG radio at Blog Talk. They will be up still until Blog Talk Radio decides to take down their website, but those recordings are still up. I will be now uploading those recordings to the YouTube channel, and then also, prior to, any newer videos will be uploaded to the YouTube channel as well. That way, nothing is interrupted, and we are still, getting the information and knowledge that we need. And that is just an update on, InnerG radio as a whole. But this listen, I want to tap into time and the idea and the views that we look into time, right? We have, I think, this idea of time that's, is limited. We have this view that it's, fixed. It's fixed in 24 hours. It's fixed in, a minute. It's fixed in 60 minutes, an hour. It's fixed in a day. It's fixed in a week. It's fixed in a month. These things that we have an idea of time on are all that we believe and see time to be. I think a lot of our people, we have failed at waking up to seeing what time really is and how we can, have more control over our hours, our minutes, our seconds, our days, our weeks, our months. We have lost that understanding, and we have been living in this fixed time frame that has been causing, our people stress, has been causing our people headaches, anger, making our people feel like they have to rush things, making our people feel like they have to be at certain places, too early. And I do think that is how we view time as people. Once we start to try to tweak and look at time differently, that is where possibilities, opportunities open up that you may not have seen or felt like you had the time for, right? I want to tell you a story about just myself and how I was able to kind of bend time for myself and, look at time in a way that was on my side rather than going against me, right? So in 2015, after completing, my first year of college, that's what made me look at how I was using my time and how, how my idea of time affected my life. So even within that first year, I seen something that made me just, question it. When I was on class, my advisor showed me basically a roadmap, right? This roadmap that was a roadmap of essentially my education for the next 4 years at that university. Seeing a roadmap and seeing the dates, seeing the days, seeing, everything that was kind of like already, given, it was almost like it was a thought that popped in my head, like, am I running this show or are y'all running this? Like, y'all telling me when the deadlines, y'all telling me what dates, y'all telling me how the next 4 years of my life, is about to be like. And ever since that moment, that made me just think about time, my time, the time that we have when we first wake up, the time that we have spent doing whatever, we have been doing all this time. So I thought about that, and I made a decision that the first step I was going to take to get, my time back, to get time that I lost, I needed to commit to getting out of the institution that controlled my time at that moment. If I was in university and still, enrolled in that school, I would have not had control over my time, at least for those next 4 years, right? So I didn't have 4 years to just give to somebody else. I didn't have 4 years to wait. So from then on, I left that university and I created my own 5, 10, 15-year plan, right? So I stretched my time out. I stretched that shit out so damn far, 15 years in ahead, knowing that that's the timing that I put myself on, and that's the timing that I am now, seeing. My view on time and my view on what I got to do and how I got to do it and when do I got to do it, or how long do I have? I put myself and my mental in a position to give that 5, 10, 15 year space. I didn't feel like I had to do it tomorrow. I didn't feel like I had to do it next week, next year, because I knew the timeline that I was on and how I programmed my brain to now see, most people complain about their week. Most people complain about 1 week, 7 days. I'm gearing up for having endurance for years, for 5 years, for 10 years, for 15 years. And I'm around people that can't even make it through 1 week without complaining. Make it through 1 week without feeling like they need to give up or life is hard. So understanding that you have the choice and the power to look at time how you see time fit. You have that choice. You can look at time as regular. You only got 24 hours in a day. If you work 12 hours, then you only gonna feel like you got 12 hours to do everything else, right? you're gonna be stressing. You're gonna be like, how can I fit everything in 12 hours? Only have 12 hours. You gotta sleep. You gotta eat. Some of y'all work out. Some of y'all chill with your friends. And some of y'all think that 24 hours, you have to do everything in 24 hours. Some of y'all think the only time y'all have is the only time after y'all get off work. And that's the part where if you reprogram your mind to look at time differently, you can start to realize you have all the time in the world. Because you are in control. And you can control how you look at time. If you feel like you don't want to be like everybody else rushing, slow down. Take a step back. Make a plan. That way, before you thought you had to get it done in a year, and you ain't know how you was gonna get it done in a year. You take a step back, make a plan, then you gave yourself a little 2-3 years extra. Now you can breathe a little more. Now you can be like, all right, it's getting close to that end of the year, but I got myself another 2-3 years to accomplish this. But look at what you accomplished in that year. Be grateful for what you've done in a year, and stop, feeling that bad about yourself because you didn't finish in a year. Time is one of the things that we cannot get back. However, we can make life what we want it to be. You don't have to work 24 hours if you don't want to. You don't have to work 10 hours if you don't want to. You don't have to do any of these things. It is a choice. You have the choice to say, yeah, I want to do it. No, I don't want to do it. But if you decide to do it, understand you made that choice. You had a time to get out. You had a time to not make a choice or not make that choice. But you made that choice. Now you must live with it, lay in the bed with it, and be accountable for the choices that you make.